Hello, guys. Welcome back to the KARANJA'S. And in today's show, we're gonna do something different. We have an amazing guest who have been into the business world for a long time. She's a young entrepreneur, somebody who have made a very big difference to the world. So I'll let her introduce herself. Let's welcome our guest, Wambui.
Yeah, good morning, world, good evening. So, my name is Wambui Kinovia, originally from Kenya, and I'm a serial entrepreneur. And I own a financial firm right now, and I help people and businesses, individuals and businesses, with their financial portfolio and also their investments. So I look forward to a great stream today and to answer any questions that you may have concerning your finances and concerning your livelihood, mostly when it comes to finances, because finances is everything. Without good finances you can't go far. So I look forward to answering everybody's question, and thank you so much for inviting me to a great show, Dennis.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's an honor to have you here. I know you are a very busy person, and we don't take that for granted.
Yeah, thank
So,
you.
to begin with, I would like you to introduce yourself, like tell the people who are watching something small about your background, all the way from Kenya to America, the
Mhm.
transformation of and the journey.
In the journey. So yeah, so I came here in the end of 2010. I came to the United States the end of 2010, and I've been through a lot just like everybody else and all that. And when I got here, I had to really like maneuver and find my way. At first I worked somewhere just like everyone else works. I worked as a cashier, and after that I realized I really did not want to work for anybody. I wanted to work for myself. So I started finding out information mostly about credit and about finances and how to start successful businesses in the United States. And I was able to do that. I was able to start salons, multiple salons actually. I was also able to help others start businesses and all that and figure out the financial world altogether and how to succeed in the US, because the system is different. Sometimes we think the systems are the same just because we're coming from Kenya, but here the system is totally different. And if you don't play with the system, you can't really go far. You have to be knowledgeable about how the system works for you to succeed. So I've been lucky enough to start a few businesses and actually sell them. I do start businesses and sell them. And I'm also in the retail business, just not the financial world too. So I start online stores for clothes and all that, and I also help people do that. So far America has been very lucrative for me, and I've been glad and happy to help a lot of people, and mostly I would like to help more of our Kenyans, um, whether they're in Canada or the United States. The system is pretty much the same, and I can show you guys how to maneuver the system and do things the legal way for you guys to succeed. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me and what I do. And I'm really passionate about finances and financial literacy. I want to teach people, I want people to understand, because once you understand the system and how this credit system works, then you're able to work it out to your benefit, to the benefit of your children, to the benefit of even others around you, because as you know, knowledge is power. So don't hold on. Make sure you ask me any questions you have, mostly when it comes to credit, because credit is everything when it comes to business and personal credit. Feel free to like write your questions, and then I'll be able to answer you anything that you've been going through, the hurdles of whether you have bankruptcies, because sometimes we come and mess up our credit without knowing it, right? So I'm here to answer all those questions and show you how you can succeed and how you can start your own businesses also and succeed in the US. So back to you, David.
Oh, thank you very much for the brief introduction. That was covered like everything together.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our viewers, you just heard she can help you through building yourself financially. And one question we're going to ask you, because many of us, we come here and we are told you have to go to work, you have to clock in.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people hate clocking in, but
Yes.
they don't know how to break that boundary.
Mm-hmm.
So, what motivated you to try and break the boundary and get to the other side of the world?
Yes, my motivation mostly was, as you said, I do know a lot of people don't like to clock in, and also how we are treated as foreigners by many people. You want to go ahead and do something different. You know what I mean? And also, we are smart. We are smart people, we're intelligent people where we are from. We read, we've worked hard. So, of course, like if they can do it, we can do it too. That's how I looked at it. If these other people do it, then I can do it too. And if I can do it, then you can do it too. What's possible for one is possible for another. So that is what really motivated me to go ahead and want to do something for myself other than clocking every day. Because even clocking in and out every day, you'll never make that much money that you would like to make. Because some people have been stuck here for years, and they're still in the same spot, because something about this system, it can keep you in one cycle of bills, 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 and you don't make that much. But when you have your own business, you can be able to scale it, you can be able to make more money that way, helping yourself and actually helping others, and actually being able to do a safe exit. If your plan is to safely exit, then I would advise for you to go for businesses, because we are hustlers back in Kenya. We know how to hustle. We are smart. I would advise everyone to take advantage of whatever thing that they love in their heart, whatever your passion is. It doesn't matter what you're selling, actually. Here you can actually sell food and sell a lot of food too. You can sell clothes, you can sell your idea, you can show people a new trade, a new skill. You don't limit yourself. Limiting yourself is what will make you not reach your highest destination. And when you come here, you've been afforded that opportunity. So why not take advantage of it? Because people here spend money, and you all know that. You and me spend money. Everybody spends money. So my biggest advice would be just go for it. Whatever it is that you want, just go for it. If you want to start your own company, you're tired of clocking in, you want to start your own nursing home, you can do it. Anything is possible, and if it's possible for me, it's possible for you. That's what motivated me. It's like I saw others doing it, so why can't I do it? I can do it too. And that means you can do it too on the other side. So
Yes, no human is limited.
no.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
And the sky is not the limit.
Yes, the sky is not the limit. I think we can go higher than this sky sometimes.
Yeah, somebody put that limit, but I don't think it's the limit.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yes, the other thing is, so for you to even start, you have to start from your credit
Yes.
score.
Yeah.
Most of the people who come from the other countries, they come here,
Yeah.
they don't even have a credit score in their country.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, what can you do to make sure you boost your credit score in a very short time to be able to get all the stuff you want to do, like to start a business, to get a house? What can you do? You, as an expert, what can you advise people to do?
So when it comes to credit, credit is it's the system that is here in Canada. It's also in Europe. They use the credit scoring meter for them to determine your worth. You can have $100,000, you can have $200,000 here in the United States, but without good credit, it's nothing, it's useless.
Yes.
So my biggest advice is, if mostly for those people who are just coming into the United States, you've been afforded that social. If they give you that social, make sure you protect it and make sure you use it the right way, you know, because once you mess it up, yeah, it's fixable, you know, because we do fix credit all the time and all that, but you don't want to get to that point, you know. So my advice is when you come to the United States, your credit, that social they give you, that is your livelihood, because you can actually use that social to do so much without even having to work, actually, you know what I mean? Because good credit means that you can walk in anywhere and get anything you want. So here is a secret that I would say mostly when it comes to building your credit. So if you come to the United States and you know they give you your social, or you probably even have an EIN number. So the EIN number is where you register yourself or your name or your company, and they give you an EIN number, which is also your business social number, you know. So those both of them can be built in a short time. So when it comes to credit, there's factors that matter when it comes to your credit. They look at your credit age, they look at your credit history, they look at your payment history, you know, and they also look at the number of accounts that are in your file. So since if you just go here from Kenya, right? Let's assume you just go here from Kenya, you don't have anything on your credit. So the thing that I would advise for you to get trade lines. Trade lines are things, accounts that are actually in your credit. Anything in your credit is considered a trade line, because some people ask what is a trade line. So a trade line is anything that is in your credit. It can be your um, mortgage, it can be your car note, it can be any credit card out there, you know. So when it comes to that and building that, since you don't have that and you're probably trying to get a car, you're trying to get that house, you're trying to get those credit cards, what you do is you lease trade lines. You ask for trade lines, you ask to lease for trade lines. So those trade lines are your livelihood, where you lease them for like 90 days. It only costs you like $500, which we have access to in my farm and all that. So you can get a trade line that is about 5 years old. You can get a trade line that is 10 years old. So it automatically builds your credit immediately, because saying that you're going to build your credit in 5 years, or so it can reflect in your credit for 5 years, then it will take you 5 years to get where you want, where you can just cut it short and get trade lines in your credit, and it will build up your credit really fast in 30 days. You know, it won't take you long. Sometimes it
Wow.
even takes you 16 days, you know.
Mhm.
So I would advise anyone out there, when it comes to like your social, protect it when you get here. Know what you're doing with it, and then don't get new credit cards and all that. Fast build your credit using a trade line. Boost yourself up, you know, boost
Yeah.
yourself up 5 years up, 10 years up. You can even boost yourself 20 years up with a trade line, which is an account that someone else can add you to, you know,
Mhm.
a company, a financial firm can add you to, where it will save you those 5 years of building that credit. So when you go to a lender, or when you
Mhm.
go to get an apartment, they'll see, oh, this person already has history, you know, they've
Yeah.
been building up their credit. Because this is not the only place that you can build your credit. You can build your credit when you're in the United Kingdom. You can build your credit when you're in Canada. So no
Yeah.
one really looks at, oh, you just go here. No, no,
Mhm.
no, no. You know, you can have already established credit, or someone else can add you to already an established account, where you're able to build yourself pretty fast instead of
Can
delaying the
can I
process.
cut you short there a little bit?
Yes, yes.
I want our viewers to understand this part very good, because so like me, when I came here,
Mm-hmm.
this is information I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know you can be able to buy that credit line
yeah,
to boost your ears, and
yes,
this is very vital information you're giving them here,
yeah,
that you don't have to wait.
yes.
They don't have to wait for 10 years, 15 years. So is this something you you do for them if they wanted you to do that?
Yes, so this is something that I can help you with. You can always contact my firm and I'll be able to help you. You'll be able to choose your own trade lines, and I'll
Mhm.
also advise you what is best to do for you. And
Yeah.
depending on what you want, whether you're trying to get a car, you're trying to get a house, you're trying to get into an apartment, because at the end of the day, without good credit in the US, like
Yeah.
you end up paying more everything. You either have to pay a deposit when you're getting into an apartment,
Hmm.
or you either have to pay high premiums, high interest rates, whatever. Even if it's insurance, you end up paying more, and then you end up not even getting the jobs that you need because your employers look at your credit, because your credit shows how responsible you are in the US. So what I would advise is, like, get the trade lines. They will build you up fast. You'll be able to achieve those goals faster. But even after achieving those goals, you must have a plan. I just don't want to present you with ideas, then you don't have a plan, then you beat yourself again, you've messed up again. You have to
That's
keep up
true.
with your credit. You have to keep up with your payments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you end up costing you more in the long run.
In the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a very, very good idea. It's a kind of a shortcut to getting where you want to be in a short
Yes.
time.
Yes, within
But
a short time.
people struggle a lot, and most people don't even know the credit until they stay here like 1 year, and then they are like, oh, there's something called credit.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
have seen that happen to many people. So
And
getting your
and
stuff.
one thing I can also
Uh-huh.
say is, like, when I got here, a lot of Kenyans,
Mhm.
they shied away from getting credit cards, from getting. Do not shy away, and don't let anybody tell you that credit is not important. Credit is very, very important, because with good credit, when you have access to maybe even 100,000, right? You
Yeah,
can be able to do so much with that money. You can be able
yeah.
to plan yourself comfortably, get a car before. Because I see a lot of us come here and start hustling crazy. We are losing our
Hmm.
mind. You know,
Yeah.
we are trying to get a car, we are trying to
Mhm.
get whatever. But once you come and you're able to build that credit in 30 days from coming into the United States, can you imagine what it would do for you?
Yes.
You remove a lot of stress from you. You remove a lot of, like, things that other people went through. You don't have to go through those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's what I would say. Like,
Yeah,
don't.
the narrative.
Yeah.
The narrative is when you have credit cards or you have all those stuff, then you're going to be working for the bills. But in real sense, how I look at it, it is how you manage them.
Mm-hmm.
How you manage your finances, how you manage those credit card. And
Mm-hmm.
one thing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong,
Mm-hmm.
nobody ever uses their own money to become rich.
No, no. And
If I'm wrong, correct me, because
yeah, that is very, very true, because that's the notion that we have back home. Because back home, we don't have no credit.
yeah,
And now, when you're afforded an opportunity to come here and you leverage on your credit the right way, you can go really far. People don't just own McDonald's. There's people who own like 10, 15 McDonald's, but all of them is through credit. Like
yeah,
people like Jay-Z, people like Beyonce, who are billionaires, they
yeah,
rap about credit because it's important, you know, it's your
yeah,
livelihood. So me, I can ask, like, all Kenyans out there, or even people out there listening to me, make
yeah,
sure you
mhm,
leverage on your credit the right way, because credit can take you places where cash cannot take you. A person
yeah,
who has 100,000 in cash and has bad credit, and you
mhm,
you have good credit, you have a higher purchase power than that person. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That is very important when you get your stuff together. I think so.
Yes, yes.
So, yeah, the other thing I was to ask you about is about like buying a house.
Mm-hmm.
The process, many people are afraid to even take that first step,
Mm-hmm.
including like me when I came. Even taking the first step was not easy. Like
Yes.
my wife, sometimes we need women because my wife was like, we are doing it, you know, and we had to do it. So, what can you advise people who come? Many people get the narrative of buying a house is more a liability than an investment.
I would.
Yes, it
Mhm.
can be, but can you tell people more about it?
So to me, like when it comes to getting houses and
Mhm.
getting homes, I would say you also look at it also as an investment, because you can even get more than one house, where you get one house where you Airbnb, right? Or you
Yeah,
actually rent it out to
yeah.
be able to help you pay the bills. It's
Mhm.
all how you do it. You know what I mean? And also make sure that, I think people shy away from buying houses because a lot of people are house poor.
Yeah,
A lot of people get into themselves into mortgages they can hardly afford. So I would say that get something that is, yeah, affordable for you, mostly in the United States. That way you're not wasting money on rent. And that place, like maybe you've been in an apartment for like 5 years, like 10 years, like that would have already been paying off your mortgage. You know what I mean? Which you can also leverage from your mortgage, because here, like, the house worth goes up, it doesn't really go down. Like, in it's true mostly in each country. You know what I mean? Like, even in Kenya, when it comes to the value of real estate,
mhm.
it grows up, and it's to your benefit, because you can also even get loans. If you're ever in a
Yeah,
fix, you can get a loan through your house, because at least you have assets and all that. So
mhm.
I would advise you, don't shy away from getting a house. And also
Yeah,
there's a lot of like programs out here that you can
mhm.
go through, where you don't even have to pay any money down. But remember, even with that, the secret is your credit. Your
Yeah. The
credit
secret is
still really,
credit.
really matters. Like, how big is your credit? How big is your credit? Meaning that sometimes if you only have one account, one trade line
Mhm.
in your account, it's not, you cannot be compared to someone who has five or actually 10.
Yeah,
So you have to like check all that. But I would advise you not to shy away from getting that home. Don't shy away from getting that house. Go look at houses. It'll probably even be cheaper than that apartment, which it is in most
yeah.
times. Most
Mhm.
times, the house is always going to be cheaper. Your mortgage is always going to be cheaper. Don't let anyone lie to you, you know?
Mhm.
But also, my also advice is, do not be house poor. If you
Yeah.
feel in your heart you're not able to afford it, then don't do
Mhm.
it.
Yeah,
But if you feel like you're able to do it and you're ready, then go ahead and invest in it, and invest in something that is not too over the top, just because you're
yeah,
making this amount of money. Get
yeah.
something that is comfortable for you, for your family. That way you can, then after you're done with that, or when you get even a business and you're doing better, then you can rent that house and get another house.
Yes.
You start small, don't start too big.
Mm.
Start small and then make steps. And then
Yeah,
from those steps, you're going to be able to leverage from those other houses that you had. Rent
yeah.
them out. That way there's money coming in, instead of us having to enslave ourselves with work in the
With
US.
what?
Because
Yeah.
it's those instances, and we are only getting older. The moment you get here, your clock is still ticking. you
Yes.
know so I would say that get that house. Don't let anyone shy you away from getting that house.
Okay. Can you explain to us about how, like, your equity can help you secure other stuff apart from the house or other houses in this case?
Yeah, so you can use your house, like as you said, you can use your house as your equity. You know what I mean? Is to get another loan, or as
Mhm.
collateral to get other loans to be able to invest in something. You
Mhm.
know, that house equity really, really, really matters. And it can also open up doors that you being in apartment,
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen. It open up doors for you, for your businesses, for
Mhm.
but my advice is, even if you want to leverage your equity and all that of the house and all that, like,
Mhm.
my advice is to always get unsecured funds, like
Yeah.
I told you earlier, because you don't want to get a lot of secured stuff using your own mortgage, using
Mhm.
your stuff that unless you're trying to exit. I would advise everyone to try, please, your best. Leverage on your personal credit, leverage on your business credit. With your business credit, you can also get trade lines using that. So
Mhm.
you don't have to like really like use your house, your car to get
Mhm.
anything. Because I don't advise people that.
Yeah.
I advise people to get unsecured funds. That way, if you were to get unsecured funds, mean it's unsecured. Like,
Yeah.
no one will come back
Mm.
for you.
Yeah.
No one is gonna come back for you if you default, if something happens and you can pay it back. For example, like if you have a 720 score, right? And
Yeah.
you make at least 40,000 a year, you can
Mhm.
be able to get like a personal term loan, which you can pay for over 10 years or
Yeah.
even 5 years, whatever you choose, and you get up to 350,000.
Hmm.
Like
With
it just
40,000.
yeah, 350,000.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
so like those are the things that you want to leverage from. Like
Yeah.
my biggest advice is leveraging from that credit, whether it's
Hmm.
personal, whether it's business, to
Hmm.
get those funds that you need, whether it's for your business. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
see people, even like when you're getting a car, if
Yeah.
you have cash money, it's cheaper to get um a cheaper car too.
Yeah.
So sometimes I advise my clients to get that personal term loan, because that
Hmm.
personal term loan will have low interest rate than even
Yeah.
the cars that you get.
Hmm.
So, and you can go ahead and just get your car that you need, where you pay cheaper than someone who just went and got a car note. Because also with bad credit and car notes, like
Hmm.
someone can pay like 4% or 2% interest rate when it comes to a car when they
Yeah.
have good credit. But if you have bad credit, you
Hmm.
pay 20. There's people who pay even 50% interest rate.
Yeah.
So that means like you're paying double that amount of your of the car that someone else is driving. And then with bad credit, you get bad cars. Bad credit gets you bad deals. That's all I can tell you. So I would advise you to check on that, invest in it, protect it like the way you protect your child. That's what I would advise everybody.
Yeah. That brings me to the other question.
Mm,
Because where we come from, or where I come from,
mm,
you start a business first
mm,
before you let the government know you have a business.
mm,
But in America and in Canada,
mm.
you have to go through the legal way of starting a business
Yeah,
before doing the business.
yeah.
So, can you take us through how do you get started?
Okay. So this is what I would say on getting
Mhm.
started and starting your own EIN. So
Yeah.
you have to go to the main government site,
Hmm.
irs.gov. So if
Hmm.
you're hearing me out there, go to irs.gov, and then they will show you how to register your EIN, which you register your EIN, your company, in 10 minutes. Actually, it doesn't
Yeah.
take you long. So, because there's a lot of sites out there, when you start saying that, oh, I want to go ahead and start my LLC, people will
Hmm.
try to get you.
Yeah.
Starting your LLC, or getting your EIN is free. It's a free service.
Hmm.
You don't have to pay anybody to get your EIN. You can do it yourself. You just have to go to irs.gov/EIN number.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get it directly yourself. Then after that, depending
Hmm.
on the state that you're in, right? So
Yeah.
let's assume you're in Alabama. Then you go to the
Mhm.
Alabama state,
Yeah.
Secretary of State, or you're in Washington, wherever you are, you're in Georgia, you go to the Georgia
Hmm.
state. And then you have to register, you have to get those certificate of formation, because you have to register with the state the right way using your
Hmm.
EIN number. Because you get your EIN number in like 10 minutes, which is your business social, which
Yeah.
like I had in Kenya, they call them the business huduma numbers, or the numbers that you get when you
Yeah.
register your
Hmm.
company. So it's the same thing. But now also, even when you get those LLC, you can also register an LLC using your name.
Yeah.
So, for example, my name is Wambui Kenodia. I can go ahead and have a company called Wambui Kenodia
Hmm.
and register it with irs.gov.
Yeah.
Don't forget, get your EIN and then register with your respective state. The
Hmm.
state fee is usually about $200. In
Yeah.
different states, some states it's $175. You want to
Hmm.
do things the legal way. That way, the government will never come for you.
So, do
Because
you think? Let me cut you short a little bit. So, is there a good reason of registering it with your name or using a different name? So, is there an advantage of using your name?
So yes, so this is the benefit of using your name. When you register your own name, you can be able to get apartments using that EIN number. You can
Okay.
also get your house, you can also get cars through your EIN number. That way it
Mhm.
doesn't affect your own personal social in case of default or in case of anything. It will
Yeah.
affect that EIN. And when you start a limited liability company, it's
Mhm.
protected. That's why it's called a limited liability company, because
Yeah.
you're limited to,
Yeah.
So even when somebody sues you and you're an LLC, it's hard for them to come for your assets. They cannot come for your assets when you're a
Mhm.
limited liability company. Because when you register your company as an S corporation or this
Mhm.
B corporation, then you're liable to more, things than other people. But when you register your name, your business, because you're a business by itself, you're an entity. I mean, that's what we are. They take, people, the government treats us like property. So I would advise for you to get a business in your own name. That way you can leverage from it. Even if you like start another business, because people don't understand that once you start your LLC, your name umbrella, let's say my main LLC is Wambui Kinodia LLC, right? So you can be able to start or do business as another company, Enoch Fashion, Wambui Street. You know what I mean? You don't have to keep registering companies. Under one company, you can have umbrellas of companies, of other companies. It's not just one. So I would advise people to get like those limited liability companies that will help them a lot. It will help them a lot. And make sure you register it with your name. If you do not want to use a social, you know, even if you don't have a social, even for those people who are watching in back home, there is a way you can register a company here in the US and leverage from it. It doesn't have to be just like a domestic company. It can be there's other entities, but you all have to go to irs.gov/EIN number. Register your company, register your idea. If there's services that you offer, like digital content, if you create just content for people and you're in Kenya, wherever you are, wherever you're watching from, you can be able to register a company here in the US. You don't need to be a citizen or resident here to be able to register. You can go ahead and register yourself and be able to earn those benefits of having those socials, those EIN numbers, leveraging from credit. Just don't limit yourself. There's things that are possible here that people don't know. So if you're out there and you want to go ahead and register your company here in the US, whether you're in the US, you want to go ahead and register your company, I suggest go ahead and do it. You can use your name, because it can be your name. And when it's your name, you can be able to do a lot much more with it than when it's another name. Then you have to prove that this is you know so I would advise you go to irs.gov/EIN and go ahead and
Mhm.
register that business.
Oh, that explained my question very well. And our viewers, from wherever you are, you can enjoy the American companies by doing that. I
Yeah,
didn't know that actually. I
yeah.
thought you have to go through a very long way. And the
No.
thing is, everything here is straight.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through somebody or something
Mm-hmm.
to do it. Like the website will give you everything you need to do.
Yeah. And you can just
So,
put yourself
mhm,
instead of, because there's people who will try to take advantage of you out there and
yeah,
charge you fees, attorney
mhm,
fees. You don't need to go do an attorney. Things
yeah,
are more straightforward here than they are in Kenya. That's what I'm telling you. To get that EIN, it will take you less
mm,
than 10 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the next question is still on the same.
Mm-hmm.
I have registered a business.
Mm-hmm.
I have secured funds through the way you said with unsecured loans
Yeah.
because you don't want to attach yourself to anything.
Yes.
So if something happens in a way that I'm not able to pay back that money, what happens in that case?
So let's say you have an LLC, a limited
Mhm.
liability company, and you had and unsecured.
Yeah.
If anything unsecured means it's unsecured. You know,
Mm-hmm.
no one is going to come for you. And if
Yeah.
they do, the worst they can do is just put a lien on your EIN. And
Mm-hmm.
in case something like that happens, you
Yeah.
can get another EIN and
So
do.
you can file bankruptcy and walk away.
No, no, no. Do not file bankruptcy. I'm telling
Uh-huh.
you, you don't have to file bankruptcy if
Uh-huh.
on unsecured funds because no one is coming for you. Why would you file bankruptcy?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
filing bankruptcy
Mm-hmm.
keeps you in a very bad state because yes, it's possible. We do remove bankruptcies, student
Mm-hmm.
loans, all those from
Yeah.
credit, but it
Mm-hmm.
takes time. It spoils your reputation because it's
Mm-hmm.
a public record.
Oh, okay.
It's not like anything. Like bankruptcies are public records. Like unless you really, really, really have to, do not
Mm-hmm.
file for those bankruptcies. Don't put yourself in a situation where you have to file for bankruptcy. And in those situations, that's why I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
try to get unsecured funds. Because
Yeah.
anything secured, you have to end up filing for bankruptcy because you lose your house,
Yeah.
you lose your cars, they are coming for you. Anything secured, they will come for you full force.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do any, they can garnish your wages. Anywhere you go make money, they'll garnish it. So you don't
Yeah.
want to put yourself in such situations. So all I can advise you, stay away from secured funds.
Mm-hmm.
Go for unsecured funds at all times, which they are. There's possibilities out there because people don't know also the difference between unsecured and secured.
Yeah.
Secured means it has security. You've given security to show, oh yeah, I have a home. Even
Mm-hmm.
if I default on this loan, then you can. No, you don't have to do that. You can get up to $500,000 unsecured funds in the US legally
Wow.
in a nice way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, if you're smart enough, you
Yeah.
can leverage from that money. You can leverage from that money. You can start a business. You can do whatever it is. Because also when it comes to starting businesses, you don't want to start a business that you don't like
Yeah.
because you're going to give up.
Mm-hmm.
You want to start a business that you're passionate about, a business that moves you. That
Yeah.
way, there won't be no chance of you giving up or like,
Mm-hmm.
or saying, oh, yeah, my hands up, You're
Yeah.
giving up. You want to go for something that you love because this is America and anything goes well or
Mm-hmm.
anything does well, whoever you are, whatever your dream is, I'd say once you get that unsecured money, use it to your benefit. Don't send it all back home. Use it
Yeah.
to your benefit to get more money, to get more funds. You
Yeah. Let me let me cut you short a little bit there. So before I forget that question, so
know?
you are in America,
Mm-hmm.
and you as an investor,
Yeah,
what would you advise somebody? Because I think we come with a mentality of back home too much.
yeah.
And I think at some point, as you
Mm-hmm.
grow, you realize I think you need to build where you are more than where you come from.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may think it differently. We all have different opinions. But I think to me, as of today, I would invest more where I am
Mm-hmm.
than where I come from back home. I'll still invest there, but not like I would like to invest where I am. What do you think about that idea of people investing more back home or where they are?
So to me, I would say you have to invest first where you are to be able to build where you
Hmm.
want to go. Because sometimes, us as foreigners, we tend to invest back home, and no one is out there watching our investments the right way. You know, people are not also being sincere with your investments back home. So you become a place where you're being milked slowly. Back home. But here, when you're able to concentrate on things. I'm telling you, America can make you a lot of money than Kenya can. And I'm sure all of us come here because we know that for sure. So I wouldn't say that, I don't beat people who want to invest back home because, yes, you can invest back home, but first invest here and put yourself in a position, You want to put yourself in a position where you're not struggling, where you're living more, where you're able to travel more, where you're able to do other things because life is short. And it's not a rehearsal. I would say invest where you are, invest here in the States with what you got. And then from that investment, when you start making so much money, start investing back home. But even when you invest back home, you want to do it yourself. Go and patrol. Go and learn things more back home.
Mhm.
Stop investing blindly and stop trusting all these blind guides that are just
Mhm.
taking your money, because
Yeah,
it's
that's
hard for
true.
you to invest where you're not living. It's
Mhm.
hard because you're not no one is gonna take care of your own money the way
Mhm.
you take care of your own money,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
investing here is very, very important because it's going to give you a more return on investments, a higher ROI than any other place. So
Yeah.
mhm,
Okay. That is well explained.
mhm,
And for those, I know many of the people are struggling with that part of investing because you invest there at many times people lose money.
they lose,
Go
yeah.
back there, whatever you are investing for is not even there.
It's not even there. It has
So,
happened to a lot of people
oh
too.
yeah, a lot of people. So instead of going all through that stress and getting money here is there's no shortcut. You
Mm-hmm.
can tell them that. Like
Very,
every coin you have in your pocket, you know where it came from.
mm-hmm. That's very, very true.
So yeah, there's no deals like we saying back there. Oh, I had a deal, I made this. Here
Mm,
you have to account everything you are doing is accountable.
yeah. But me, what
So
I can say is like whatever ideas you have, right? For
mhm,
example, if you have ideas to invest in real estate in
yeah,
Kenya, how about you invest in real estate here?
here first.
you know it will make you much more money than there. Whatever idea you have, whether you're
Yeah.
starting a restaurant back home, whether you're starting
Hmm.
whatever it is, even bottling water,
Hmm.
you can start your own bottled water, which is going to be easier here than it
Done.
is in Kenya. you
Yeah.
know in
Yeah.
Kenya, things are a little bit, there's still like a whole lot of corruption going on back in
Yeah.
these other countries. So I'll say that it will be easier for you to do things here. And don't feel like, oh, I'm not from here, I can't do it. You can do it. You can
Hmm.
own an apartment complex, you can get
Hmm.
multifamily homes, you know,
Yeah.
which I also give out loans for multifamily homes and all that. And all
Hmm.
you have to have is a 680 score and up and have like enough trade lines in your account, and you can own a whole apartment complex. You know,
Yeah.
let's not limit ourselves. Like the way we are wise, the way we are smart,
Hmm.
we can do a lot here. Do not be scared,
Yeah.
and don't be scared of anything. Don't be
Hmm.
scared in walking in these rooms. Walk in these rooms. Whatever you want to invest in, even back home, invest here. Your online store. You want to start a boutique back home. How about you
Yeah.
start it here too? People
Yes.
love it. You will
Hmm.
succeed and you make much, much more money than you would make in Kenya.
Yeah.
And then after that, expand in Kenya.
Hmm.
Your business can expand in Kenya. Whatever boutique you start here, you can rain down and go to Kenya. You can go
Yeah.
to Canada. You can go. Don't limit yourself to one place.
Yes.
Just fly. As you said, sky is not the limit. We can go much, much higher and much,
Much
much
higher than
further.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other question is, so you talked about the apartments,
Yes.
and I really want to know something from that. So how much do you need to invest to to invest in apartments? Do you only need a credit score and the trade lines, or do you need a certain amount? Let's say this apartment is, for example, $1 million.
hmm
From that, how much do you need to get
I
into the
mean,
deal?
from that, it
Mhm.
also it also depends on the value of the property that you're getting, because
Yeah.
the value of the property secures the loan. The
Hmm.
value of the property secures the loan. In some instances, they will ask you for 10%, for 20%. And that's why I'm telling you guys, you can leverage, let's say, let me give you guys a scenario, right? You want to invest in almost $1 million investment, right? So the first thing you would have to do is make sure that you build your personal credit well enough. Make sure it's 720 and up, right? And you can do this in a span of 3 months from coming from Kenya. So in those 3 months, give yourself a plan and a goal. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to get a multifamily. I want to get this apartment complex. It's costing this money. And you don't have to even go for the most expensive, or $1 million apartments. You can even get lower. There's other deals that are going on out here. It doesn't matter where. People are always going to rent. Even if a place is in the hood, people will rent it. They may rent it for a little bit cheaper, but you still make your money. So the money that you get initially, the unsecured money you get, like 350,000 to $500,000, that's the money that I would say you leverage from to invest in property. So if you're trying to get a multifamily home, right? So you come
Yeah.
to me, or you get trying to get an apartment, you come to
Mm-hmm.
me. I'll look
Yeah.
at the apartment you're trying to get. I'll look at
Mm-hmm.
the plan that you have. I'll look at the return on investment,
Mm-hmm.
the return on investment on that property value. And then
Yeah.
I'll probably ask for 100,000 down. you
Mm-hmm.
know you
Yeah.
see, you leverage from that 100,000 to get $1
Mm-hmm.
million. Does
Yeah.
that make $1 million property? And
Mm-hmm.
then we are going to give you all the funds to build up that place.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give you everything that you need for you to succeed, because we want you to succeed so you can be able to pay us back
Yeah.
the money, the money that you get.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible. All this is all about credit. I'm telling you, credit is the secret sauce.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone tells you anything different, because how are you going to save $1 million in the US to get that apartment?
It's not possible. Yeah, it's not
It's
possible.
not possible. So
Yeah.
since we're here, and at least we can, because in Kenya, a lot of people, we
Mm-hmm.
have to have cash money to do a lot of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
But here, you don't have to have that cash money to do whatever you need. You can just leverage from your portfolio. Say,
Mm-hmm.
build your portfolio, let it look so good that
Yeah.
nobody ever says no
Mm-hmm.
to you. Nobody ever
Yeah.
says no. And you end up saving a lot of money in the long run, because those interest rates that people pay, you don't pay for
Yeah.
them.
You don't pay for it.
You know?
Yeah. And that brings me to the other question. So, would you advise somebody buying a business that is ongoing and or starting a new business? What?
So I have done both.
Yeah.
And I've also sold business that are ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it depends. Like, how or your business plan looks like. What are your goals? And you have to be realistic with your goals. You have to
Yeah.
look at the numbers. You have to look at the market out
Mm-hmm.
there. You know what I mean? Like, I would say that it benefits to also buy a business that is ongoing, because
Yeah.
you're able to see the profit sheet. You know what I mean? You're
Mm-hmm.
able to see the books and all that. And
Mm-hmm.
you have to be careful, because some people sell businesses because they're doing bad.
Yeah.
They're trying to exit. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to pay attention to those numbers. Get someone who is good with looking at those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get your money, whether it's 200,000, whether it's whatever you want,
Yeah.
make sure before you buy that business, look at that accounting. Ask for at
Mm-hmm.
least 6 months in advance, like
Yeah.
6 months back. Let me see your statements.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what's going on. Look at
Yeah.
the profits. Like, have someone read those numbers for you the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have to hire an expert, a negotiator,
Yeah.
whoever you need to hire them. Yes, they
Mm-hmm.
are a little bit more expensive. Like, for example, I charge 150 an hour
Mm-hmm.
to consult for you, or to look over your things for you, which is not too
Yeah.
much if it's going to benefit you in the long run. If you're
Mm-hmm.
making an investment of 200,000, what is
Yeah.
$1,000 to
None.
invest in, and hire an expert who is going to look at those numbers? And
Yeah.
then also, I also advise people to start their own. Even startup businesses do well. If you
Mm-hmm.
have a unique idea out there, like,
Yeah.
go ahead, but also make sure you hire experts too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
get a business plan done, so
Yeah.
you can have the financial focus breakdown in every level. you know
Mm-hmm.
do things the right way and the smartest way, so you can make sure that you don't go ahead and fall. You
Yeah.
don't go ahead and, like, close down or shut down. So hiring experts is very, very important, whether it comes to startup or even buying those existing businesses. Those existing businesses, yes, they are good, but you just have to be careful the
Mhm.
franchises and all that. Franchises are also good. You can buy a
Yeah.
franchise, a franchise, because the benefit of franchise is that they advertise you. It's already a business that is ongoing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whether it's a yogurt place, you can do it. You can own that restaurant down the street. Like, that's
Hmm.
all I can say. You can own that hotel down the street, because
Yeah.
also people from our country, we don't invest much with hotels, and
Yeah.
that's why we see like a lot of Indians, a lot of Arabs, they own these hotels down the street, the
Hmm.
Hamptons and all that. But it's
Yeah.
because they leveraged from their credit. They actually
Hmm.
live in those same hotels, you know.
Yeah.
They live
Hmm.
in a level somewhere, but they live there. Even instead of buying a house, you can buy
Yeah.
a hotel,
Hotel.
and
Wow.
that way you take care of it and then take care of yourself too in the
Yeah.
process. So it's all about what you're investing in. Look at what you're investing in. Do your own research,
Yeah.
hire experts, and just make calculated risk. Just don't risk,
Don't risk. Yeah.
you have to make calculated risk. That's what I
Hmm.
would say. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of information. That's a lot of information.
Yeah.
And we have greetings from Migori County.
Yes. Hey.
Yeah, tumesalimika sana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So,
mhm.
mhm, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh, so also I have a blueprint of
Yeah.
success, of
Mhm.
financial success, that you can use in Canada, and you can also use it in the United States.
Yes.
And Dennis is going to make sure that my number is there. You can feel free to text me. Feel free to call
Yeah.
me also.
Hmm.
If I'm busy, we can book an appointment to see how I can help you. But you can also purchase that business and
Yeah.
financial blueprint that will help
Mhm.
you in everything that I've talked. It goes more in depth about
Yeah.
everything. It goes more in depth. It's pages and pages, but it's things that are going to set you up for life. And I
Yeah.
think, to me personally, I wish that
Mhm.
I had the blueprint
Yeah.
immediately I got here. I'll probably be farther. But
Hmm.
I am thankful to where I am. But if you're just coming in, purchase
Hmm.
that blueprint. It will
Hmm.
help you. You have something you can reference from. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I need to do this. How is the best way to do this? So invest in a nice financial blueprint from
Mhm.
us, from Wambui Street, that can help you.
Yeah.
And I'm also only one call away, one text away. You can always call or text me, and I'll be happy to guide you if you have any questions, even with the blueprint. Just
Yeah.
don't stay there and feel like no one else is genuine, or no one else cares. Me, I
Hmm.
care. I like to see people win.
Yeah.
That has always been my motto. So yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna put the information about Wambui down on the description. And if you guys need anything, there will be a contact, an email, and a website.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so that you guys can be able to get all the resources. And that the book she said, I believe it explained everything we just talked about in depth. It's like a plan, a life-free plan of how you're gonna move forward with what you want to do, It's
Yes.
gonna guide you. It's a guide.
And make sure also, when you text me, make sure you mention these live streams, so I can give
Hmm.
you guys like a 50% off discount when it comes to
Yeah.
the blueprint. So make sure you mention these, say Karanja,
Yeah.
say something, so I can know it's from the live stream, and we'll go from there in helping you guys reach the next level.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if somebody need like a financial advice directly, they can also reach to you, is it?
Yes, you can reach out to me if you need financial advice with whatever it is
Mhm.
going on. Then I'll be able to recommend something. And also for people that came and have messed up their credit,
Yeah.
I'm still here. I'm
Mhm.
here. I can show you, I can repair your credit. I can also show
Yeah.
you how to repair it. Whatever goes, like, don't feel like just because you have bankruptcies or
Mhm.
you've messed up your credit that you can make it.
Yeah.
Credit is something fixable. And the
Yeah.
reason it's fixable is that, you see, when it comes to Experian, it comes to
Mhm.
TransUnion, it comes to Equifax, these are LLCs. These
Yeah.
are companies that have been contracted by the American government. So the American government has rights, the FCRA rights, that protects you as a consumer
Yeah.
against these companies. These
Mhm.
companies cannot report inaccurate information.
Yeah.
Anything you feel that is inaccurate, they
Mhm.
have to remove it from your credit. Anything that, bankruptcies don't have to last forever in your credit. You can remove them if they're hurting you. Anything that is hurting your credit, that
Yeah.
you're not able to have a nice livelihood, it can
Mhm.
be removed from your credit. It is your right. It's within your right. Remember, even if these are just companies that have been contracted. For example,
Yeah.
Experian is based in Europe. It's not even
Mhm.
an American company. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, they check our credit and all that and our scoring, but they are not American based
American
companies.
based.
That's why America has rights. The Senate, the Congress
Mhm.
comes up with rights that protect us as consumers. And American consumers are very, very well protected by the
Yeah.
government. That's what I have to tell you. So
Mhm.
never shy away. Oh, I have bad credit. I can do this, or
Yeah.
I've put myself in a bad position, or maybe you got sick. COVID
Mhm.
happened. When COVID happened, a lot of people fell behind with their bills.
Mhm.
It don't make you fall behind. Those are things that are fixable,
Yeah.
in a heartbeat. So, just contact me, and I'm here for all your financial needs and your
Mhm.
financial questions. I'll be happy to help you navigate, and
Yeah.
win. Mhm.
Oh, thank you very much. Unless you have something else to add on top of
So
what we just talked.
yeah. I don't have anything else to add other than, like, you guys go for it. If you're planning to come here, come with a good
Mhm.
plan and go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just follow the advice that I gave you and you go far. Don't listen to the naysayers and all that.
Mhm.
Just go and do also your own research, and see
Yeah.
how you can win, and learn also how to learn from people who are doing well.
Mhm.
Sometimes we seek advice from just anybody. Don't just seek
Yeah.
advice from anybody. Seek advice from somebody who has a good track record, someone
Mhm.
who knows what they're doing. As
Yeah.
I said, an expert. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is a very vital information we just got today. And I had one question. I forgot that
Okay, sure.
before we wind up.
Okay, sure.
So, how how do you know, or when do you exit your business? You have started businesses
Mm-hmm.
one after the other,
Yeah.
and I have seen them myself. They have been successful,
Yeah.
and there's a point you have exited.
Yes.
So, how do you know when to exit from a certain business?
So personally,
Mhm.
the reason I exit my businesses after 7 to 10 years, because sometimes I do not like the monotony or something. I want to do
Yeah.
something different. And for example, like, I sold one of my salons too. Like, the reason I sold it is
Mhm.
because I kind of was burnt out with
Yeah.
doing the same thing, because
Mhm.
sometimes doing the same thing can burn you out too.
Mhm.
And also, I exited because the business was doing so well
Yeah.
that I was able to benefit and make a lot of money selling it too.
Mhm.
you know so you want to exit the business when it's doing very well. Also, you don't want to exit the business when it's not doing well.
Mhm.
That way you leverage from the business, because when you're selling a business,
Yeah.
they what we charge something called a goodwill.
Mhm.
And the goodwill is whatever you think your business is worth. If your business was grossing a quarter million,
Yeah.
you can sell that business for a quarter million,
Mhm.
or half a million,
Yeah.
because that person will, in 2 years, will be able to have made that money back and all
Back.
that.
Yeah.
So, and people want existing businesses, because that
Mhm.
business is already having walk-ins, they already have their clientele, they already
Yeah.
have a structure that is set up.
Mhm.
So, exiting the business at the right time is very, very important. And you're able to leverage and make a lot of money from selling those businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was my last question. I had forgotten that. And apart from that, we have somebody saying thank you. They have learned a lot of information. I know most of the people will watch even later.
Yeah.
And we are very happy to have you here.
Yes, I'm so happy that you invited me, and I look forward to another time that you invite me. So
Yeah,
thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys go out there and win. As we say, sky is not the limit.
yeah, and you guys don't forget to get the book. I'll be the first one to get that book actually,
Okay,
and
sure.
I will even post for them when it arrives to me to
Okay.
prove
So
this
it's
is
a it's a drive. So
yeah, a drive. Mhm.
it's a drive. So you get access immediately.
Yeah.
So you'll get access to that information immediately, and you'll be able
Hmm.
to start leveraging from it and going from there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and apart from that, I think everything we discussed was very important.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you very much for being here again. I know you are a very busy person and you took your time to
Yeah,
just come and educate a lot of us who
yeah,
needed this information.
yeah.
So we look forward to seeing you soon too.
Okay, then. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, bye.
Bye.